As we're moving to the second month of the year, we engage in the new edition of our HSEMessage message, an awareness presentation on various topics that can be shared with the FITS community. This month's delivery will be the safety aspect is emergency response, health lifestyle awareness as the health aspect, your actions and the environment, linking to the environment. What do we mean by emergency response awareness? First question, what constitutes an emergency? How would you deal with natural disasters, chemical spills, gas leaks, etc.? Understanding your surroundings and what constitutes an emergency and the immediate action that is needed to be taken should be understood by everybody in the area, whether you're in a shopping center or in the workplace. This is a vital thing to make sure that you are safe and remain safe. Procedures and notices should exist whereby instructions are given what needs to be done. It is also important that all persons in the environment understand what the tasks are to ensure that they are not impacting or being impacted by the emergency before them. In the workplace, it is the responsibility of each employee to know and understand how they need to react and ensure that their health and safety, as well as others, is addressed. Secondly, what are the roles and responsibilities during an emergency? In the workplace, there should be evacuation coordinators who can instruct and ensure that all personnel are evacuated from the area. If required, competent first aiders should be on hand to attend to any injuries that may have occurred. Trained fire marshals should be available if there are small fires that have broken out, by ensuring that there's not another threat that could get out of hand. Where needed, the external emergency management systems, or EMS, can be called upon to assist in getting the emergency under control. Then we have, what are the emergency plans what are the emergency plans that are needed that include the alarms, evacuation routes, assembly points, emergency equipment, etc. It is important for all personnel in the workplace to know and understand the evacuation protocols. That is what the alarm sounds like. If there are no sirens, how do people know that they need to evacuate? What routes to be taken, even if one's blocked, which are the alternate routes that can be safely used, where the assembly point is for their area, and the responsibilities of all concerned. For example, ensuring to notify the evacuation coordinator or other emergency response personnel that they are accounted for outside and that they have not returned to the building because it was taking too long or they just decided to disappear. Most areas have personnel that are trained in how to use emergency equipment that is supplied, and others can assist where necessary. How to report an emergency with ease and effectiveness. In the workplace, it is vital for management and emergency personnel to know that if there is an emergency that has occurred and the actions that are needed in any situation, look, these are things you need to actually be aware of. So raise the alarm. Tell the people around you, make a large contribution, but be respectful. If you need to contact security or others, when contacting them, give them your details by leaving your cell phone number, your name, and what the emergency is that they need to actually address or that has been addressed. And should they need to get back to you, at least they can phone you back. Follow the instructions given by the evacuation coordinator or other representatives, and the evacuation signage that gives the demarcated area where you will be safe. If there are persons with special needs or disabilities, it is important to assist them, as well as any visitors who may not be familiar with the protocols and procedures that are in place. Await further instructions and remain calm at the area. Once the emergency has been addressed and the all clear has been given, the people that are assembled at the area will then be instructed on next steps, for example, returning to their workplace. It should be noted that all workplace emergency situations will require an investigation and report to be conducted, even if only an exercise, and personnel should provide the emergency personnel with the required information. How can actions reduce risks without anybody being in danger? To reduce the risks to anybody is very important, and making sure that all people understand in that work area and act when an emergency alert is indicated. By clearing out of the area as soon as possible in a calm manner and ensuring that they are on their way to the emergency assembly point, while assisting those that may not know the way or need a bit of assistance. And through this, they can support and help get everybody out of danger. Discussing healthy lifestyle awareness. It is important to focus on promoting physical, mental, and emotional well-being to improve the employees' health, productivity, and overall job satisfaction. Eating healthy. Well, we all know we've got to eat healthy. We all know what we should be eating and how we should be not eating sweets, not consuming large amounts of crisps and fatty foods and things like that, and keeping everything in moderation. Physical exercises through stretching, walking around, making sure that you're not chatting too much while you're walking around, but actually physically doing exercise is a good way of doing that. A good idea is for every 50 to 60 minutes worked, take a bit of a breather or a stretch or stand up and just exercise and flex the body a little bit. Maintaining mental health. We need to make sure that we're obviously taking regular breaks from what we're doing. It's no good sitting in a dark room with low light and trying to work the whole time, because unfortunately that does not help with the mental state of somebody. We need to make sure that people are dealing with their stress without other coping mechanisms. And where people need support, they need to please reach out as part of the employment wellness program. Adequate rest. We need to make sure that we're resting, because not only does that help with our mood, our focus, and overall performance, it also makes us feel happier. Work-life balance, if there's something like that, I think that's like a phrase that we've coined over the last couple of years, especially since COVID. But we need to make sure that we supporting our work and our home life with the same amount of balance that is possible for us to do. And not just working all the time, going out to see friends, having a good time, making sure that at least periodically you're seeing friends and things like that, going out for a meal, or even just if you can't afford that, just going to walk around a shopping center with not buying anything. Healthy habits. Discouraging smoking, excessive caffeine, and substance abuse, or any drugs that may have a negative approach on a person's lifestyle. But then again, we can't tell you what your lifestyle choices would be. Safety and hygiene, maintaining a clean work environment, practicing good hygiene, and following health and safety protocols to prevent illness and injury. A healthy lifestyle in the workplace helps reduce absenteeism, improves morale, and creates a safer, more productive working environment for everyone. Looking at actions and the environment and how each choice we make and how our behaviors can become a habit in assisting with the little steps to ensure that global warming can be reduced. Reduced waste. Using resources efficiently, recycling where possible, and avoiding unnecessary waste to reduce landfill pollution. Saving energy and water, switching off lights and equipment when not in use. Using energy efficient appliances and avoiding water wastage. Preventing pollution, proper disposal of chemicals, waste and hazardous materials to prevent air, soil and water contamination. Please note this also includes your household. Make sure that batteries, light bulbs, anything plastic or things like that, or bottles, glass, can be disposed of responsibly and not landing up in the landfill. Using eco-friendly products, choosing environmentally friendly materials and products makes it easier for them to biodegrade and obviously for recycling. Protecting natural resources, conserving materials, reducing paper use, and supporting sustainable practices. Awareness and responsibility, following environmental policies, reporting environmental hazards, and encouraging others to act responsibly is a good way to go. Positive environmental actions help reduce environmental damage, conserve natural resources, and contribute to a healthier, safer, and more sustainable environment for present and future generations. Thank you for watching and listening to this awareness contribution for this month. From the emergency response awareness to healthy lifestyle awareness, and including your actions on the environment. Should you require any additional information, please look it up on the internet, but make sure that it's coming from a valued source and not fake news or fake information. Please share any information that you have found fascinating with your community, your OHS&E committee, and others that are in your area or entity. If you have any questions, queries, or challenges, contact OHS&E department or your responsible OHS&E officer assigned to your area. Remember to stay safe, healthy, and environmentally aware of what is happening around you, and look after yourself and others.